Of D.C.'s most prestigious schools, allegations that a former writing teacher at Duke Ellington School of the Arts preyed on students for years.
Our News 4 I-team uncovered 2 police reports filed 14 years apart against that same teacher. He has never been charged.
Tonight, investigative reporter Jodie Fleischer has more on the new action from police to take a new look at those cases.
When we first contacted D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department in October, it was unclear whether detectives even knew there were 2 reports of abuse against that same teacher. The 2004 report is handwritten, and it wasn't in the current computer system. Now a new commander has assigned a new detective to investigate both cases, and now the 2 young women are willing to talk.
I thought I was in love with him. I thought we'd spend the rest of our lives together.
These 2 young women who don't know each other accuse their Duke Ellington School of the Arts writing teacher, Mark Williams, of grooming them. First by encouraging them to share intimate details in one-on-one sessions, then to read his own writings about sex. They say he led them from sexual conversations to sexual acts.
It just makes me wonder how many other people it's happened to.
Each say they had a multi-year relationship with Williams, beginning when he was their teacher, nearly a decade apart. The I-team found school leaders reported Williams to D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department for investigation in 2004 and 2018. He has never been charged.
This entire time, I just didn't want to ruin his life. I thought that was the most important thing.
She says she kept quiet in high school when someone came to her home. She doesn't know whether the man who had her write a statement was an officer or not. The police report describes this young woman as an unknown female, despite an email sent by an ex-boyfriend to more than 100 people, calling Mark Williams a rapist and a predator.
Nobody ever directly asked me about the nature of the relationship.
The new commander of MPD's Youth and Family Services Division was not in that unit at the time of either investigation and says it's unfortunate both young women say they were never interviewed by detectives.
We generally interview everyone that's involved in the situation.
And it's procedure to talk to the other teachers in the department.
It's procedure for good investigation to talk to anyone who could have any possible information.
But the I-team tracked down 4 former teachers from the writing department during the school years in which the abuse is alleged. None had ever been interviewed.
Is that something that should have been done in these 2 cases?
I can't really speak on the particulars of how the investigation is taking place because it is still an open investigation, but it will be something that I could look into.
MPD has arrested 3 former Duke Ellington teachers for sexual abuse of students since March of 2020. Court records show in each of those cases, the victims didn't acknowledge what happened until years later, often after someone else contacted authorities.
One case is too much, and I knew about definitely more than one.
Shania Taylor graduated from the Literary Media and Communications Department in 2017. She never imagined the acclaim she'd receive for her writing of a petition. She posted on change.org in 2020, calling for justice for victims of sexual assault at the school. More than 5,000 people have signed.
I knew about this before I even was a student there, and I've heard current students there say the same exact thing.
Shania says art students can also be more vulnerable.
You're not just going to school, for academics, you actually connect to some of your teachers on an artistic level. So I think it enables a lot of teachers to cross the line.
Both of these women say their artistic connection to Mark Williams helped fuel the abuse, and each has struggled for years, somehow believing they consented to a sexual relationship with their teacher.
It's never consensual. You don't have to give consent, and you don't have to say no.
The young women say seeing the support from that petition and the comments from others who say they were victims has helped them begin to heal.
The part of me that blamed myself for what had happened was lessened because I realized that he had a predatory pattern.
Mark Williams did not respond to the I-team's repeated calls and emails requesting comment. MPD is urging anyone with information about inappropriate relationships between any teacher and a student to come forward. But they aren't the only ones who were supposed to have investigated. Tomorrow on News 4, a closer look at this school and the school district and how their unique relationship may have helped